Good afternoon. I don't want to cut off what I'm sure are really rich discussions, but we do have an opportunity to hear from some other people today. And before we do that, I want to introduce some other staff people who came in. Dr. Rich Midcap, Vice President for Enrollment Management and Student Success. Dr. Kathy Barber, Vice President for Academic Affairs. Lucy Hughes, Vice President for Advancement. Latelia Stewart, who you met checking you in, who is the Administrative Associate for Institutional Advancement. James Egan, who's our videographer, and Marcy Malloy, Director of Public Information. And we have two people who are staff, but they're really here representing scholarships. Kay Nicholson, the George Walls Scholarship, and Tracy Brinkerhoff. And Tracy, I'm sorry, I don't have the name of your scholarship, but it's a book fund in honor of Tracy's mother. And thank you so much. So those are the people who make all of this possible. And this is 282 students who are getting scholarship support this year from Chesapeake College. The foundation has over 60 endowed scholarship funds, and this year awarded $117,000 in scholarships. And as you may know, we are in the middle of a campaign trying to increase that number of endowed scholarships. We're trying to raise $500,000 as part of the campaign to have endowed scholarships that will be there for students well into the future. If you combine the scholarships that are funded through the foundation and other private donations to the college, we have been able to award $350,000 in scholarship support this year. And this is exclusive of other private scholarships that sometimes go directly to students. For example, nursing students sometimes get scholarships from the hospital foundation, and doesn't include other awards that we might be making in the spring. So that is just an extraordinary achievement. And yet we know that there are other students still in need. So as I said, in a time of Thanksgiving, we really give thanks for what we have been able to accomplish to help students who deserve the opportunity and who will then turn around and make a difference in their communities. And it is now my pleasure to introduce Winslow Womack, who is speaking on behalf of scholarship donors today. In 2004, the Womacks created the annual scholarship fund to help support students with book money. And in 2013, they endowed the fund so that it will always be there. And I'm sure every student who's sitting here knows how important having money for books is, because the tuition and fees, they may seem like a lot, but they're actually pretty reasonable in the world of higher education. But then comes the book bill. And so we thank you, Mr. Womack, for thinking of that. Winslow Womack.
I'm sure every donor here today has a story that they can tell as to how they got involved in supporting Chesapeake College. My story is very simple. It's about 4 years, well, whatever the number was, I was shopping at Lowe's. And when I went to check out, the young girl at the checkout counter, I gave her my credit card, and she was having trouble getting the transaction to go through. And so I said to her, "You must be new." And she said, "Yeah, this is my first day." So I looked at her, and she looked a little bit older than maybe a recent high school graduate. So I said, "What were you doing prior to working at Lowe's?" And she said that she was in the nursing program at Chesapeake College, but had run out of funds and had to drop out and go to work. And on the way home, I thought about that. And when I got home, I spoke to my wife, and I said, "Well, there's something we can do." So we generated an award to support the program, and as was said earlier, we've recently endowed it. We have a great deal of respect for Chesapeake College.
Thank you very much. I've enjoyed getting to know you and your wife as we've gone through this process of endowing the scholarship. And that's how a lot of our funds start. They start as annual scholarships because somebody recognizes a need. And as it goes on, they think, well, I want to make sure this keeps happening. And so comes the endowment. So we really appreciate you, Mr. Womack. I'd like to introduce our student speaker, Derek Nepert. I met Derek's mom a couple years ago when he and my son were playing baseball against each other. Derek's team won. Riley's team lost. And now I'm happy to say they're both here working with the baseball team at Chesapeake College. And I was so glad to see Derek was a scholarship student, and this is his sophomore year. So I'd like to welcome Derek to come up and speak.
Thank you, Mrs. Halterman, for that introduction. Before I begin, I just want to say thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak. Mrs. Halterman presented me with the opportunity, and I said yes. I thought it would be something great that I could do. Thank Dr. Viniar especially, and the members of the board, other members of the administration and faculty here at Chesapeake College. Thank you for your attendance. It's really an honor and a blessing to be here in front of you today. My name is Derek Nepert. I'm 18 years old, and this is my second year here at Chesapeake College. I am a exercise science with a sports management option. That's what I'm studying. Sports are my passion, especially baseball. It's been something ever since I was little. I've just always loved it ever since I can remember. And I really feel that the Lord has placed a calling on my life for me to work in baseball in some capacity. I want to say thank you to the donors. I want to draw I'm studying exercise science, and while at Chesapeake, I have the opportunity to work with the baseball team here at Chesapeake. I'm a student assistant with the program, and what that means is anything that the team needs, that's what I do. So whether that be keeping all the stats for all of our players, to keeping the scorebook updated, to helping with practices, traveling, anything that the team needs, I do. I really enjoy it. It's something that I take very seriously. But through that, I've had the opportunity to travel to numerous states and meet people all throughout the country just by having this job here at Chesapeake. It's something that I'm really grateful for and really blessed to be able to do. I say all of that to bring the attention to why we're really here today, and that is to recognize you, the donors, for your gifts, your contributions, your desire to see local students succeed here at Chesapeake. It is something that I believe that I speak for all the students that you have affected when I say thank you, and we will be grateful. On a more personal level, I can say for me and my family that it's been a great blessing for us. We will always be grateful for what you have done for me, for the generosity that you have shown me personally. And I will never be able to repay you for that, but I would like you to know that your gifts do not go unnoticed. They are not taken for granted, and they will always be cherished in my heart. The Bible says in 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 7, that the Lord rejoices in a cheerful giver. I truly believe this with all my heart, and for the blessings which you have poured into the students here at Chesapeake College, I believe that you will be poured back into 10 times over. I thank you for what you have done, for what you are continuing to do, and I pray that God will bless each and every one of you for many years to come. Thank you.
I think we didn't have our act together, so thank you, Derek. Well, our donor and our scholarship recipient did speak on behalf of a much larger group, and we thank them for that. Good job, Derek. And it doesn't feel like baseball weather, but I know that year-round they are thinking about what's next, and we always have a wonderful team. And they don't get to get a new building, but at least it'll be cleaned up out there when you're ready. So thank you, Mr. Womack. Thank you, Derek. Thank all of you for being here. And we just so appreciate, as Derek said, the blessings that just increase exponentially with each person who thinks about giving and each person who receives and then goes on to give in their own way. So thank you all for being here. Enjoy your holiday. And for the students, remember you only have 2 more weeks, and then it's finals, and you actually get a break. So thank you all for being here.